Sakura.
I am looking forward to seeing. Wow, I'm looking forward to the race beginning, which has already started. Looks like we found a piece of heart and a small key in these chests.
We did indeed, so that small key may play a role later in Escape, which SuperNinTaylor is heading towards. Well, Tojso looks like he might be going to farm bombs south of Haunted Grove, which is actually a very cool play. But SuperNinTaylor's not going to have to do that because he just found bombs in that tree there. Very nicely done.
Yeah, you may say that he got a sign that he should head here.
Oh, I see what you did there. We're starting off strong, folks.
Oh, I didn't see Kane!
That's gotta be Kane!
Right off.
We gotta shout out Ryu a little bit here. I can't do him justice, but I know he's deploying soon, so we gotta keep the meme up.
Yeah, and it looks like with both players already having bombs, it looks like we're starting things off with a bang. So we got both players going different directions altogether.
Really interesting reverse routing from Tojso here in Kakariko. I kind of like this route because you almost guarantee yourself a bomb going in there and you can get a bunch of items. Picking up this heart, definitely a good idea early on. Never know in open mode what can happen. You might end up with not very many hearts and have to do some really tricky things going through the game.
And more bombs! Perfect!
Very clever of SuperNinTaylor here, actually just taking advantage of that, using multiple tree pulls to get some advantage out of those bombs.
And picking up a few rupees here from the hoarder is gonna give him a little bit more rupees for when he has to go buy his bottles, go to Zora, and it's also good because he knows that if he does need rupees, he can do that again quickly on his way out of here.
There's the banana hat, which I guess is more of like a blue suit for the Zora here. We got some cool sprites, by the way. Zora versus Frog. Loving it. And even more bomb farming strats from Tojso here in this bomb hut in Kakariko. So open mode, since you don't immediately get to go through Escape and maybe find bombs there, or get a sword automatically, you gotta make do. and find bombs on your own. So we're going to be seeing a lot of players implement a lot of different strategies to try to find bombs early on because that's the best weapon that they can reliably get.
Yep, both players also sitting at 4 hearts now, both finding a different full heart container. So... Oh, are we gonna... Nope, no chicken clip over here.
Ooh. Could we see a pedestal check in our future with that Book of Mudora there? I'm excited for it. Hopefully Tojso routes up that way.
Oh, wouldn't that be exciting? First seed of the tournament being a pedestal seed.
I'm in. I'm good for it. Let's do it.
Yeah. So we have 300 rupees here.
I'll be nice for the bottle vendor.
Absolutely. Oh, a moon pearl on SuperNinTaylor's side. And the single arrow.
The arrow of destiny. I love it. Gotta save that one for Ganon.
Oh,
and you got silvers. Perfect. You got 1 arrow. What else do you need?
Exactly. 1 silver arrow. The one that will kill Ganon.
You'll be saving that one. Mark my words.
So it looks like they're both going to the opposite place. So Tojso is gonna pick up his moon pearl here.
And hopefully we'll see him go into the Lost Woods and then route towards Pedestal. I think that would be really cool to see that route. Like, it might actually pay off if he gets that information really early on.
Absolutely. Alright, so looks like SuperNinTaylor's heading to the bottle vendor and picks up a B! Shoutouts to Vitor.
Shoutouts to kind of vanilla bottle. Depending on... I think you can sell that bee to the vendor there if you just unleash it on him. Get some cash.
And Sick Kid giving 100 rupees. Well, you got a bottle for 100 rupees, and then you get your 100 rupees back for turning it into the Sick Kid. Alright, so looks like Tojso is heading into Lost Woods, so will we see a pedestal check?
I sure hope so.
Neither player has a sword at the moment still, so still having to dodge all these enemies here.
Now what's kind of interesting is both of them are getting pretty close to 500 rupees, which is the sweet spot for Zora, and since we did get the Moon Pearl, it could be rather lucrative to do a fake flippers over to the Zora area, because you do have those 2 new waterfall chests.
And it looks like the Quake medallion on the library. So we may see those players having to go back and picking it up. Looks like Crystal 5 is Tower of Hera, and I believe Pendant Desert Palace. Blue Pendant, if I'm not mistaken.
That's right. Yep.
Okay.
And we got Crystal 3 and Eastern.
So unfortunately, it doesn't look like we got a pedestal check. So, could be good, it could be bad, depending upon what's sitting there. So I think we're seeing a attempt for Houlihan Room.
I think, yeah, Taylor here is going for Houlihan Room, which is pretty cool. That'll get him the rupees he needs for Zora. And we didn't find too much here at the back of Sahasrara, so looks like Tojso is going to head into Eastern. Not a bad play by any means. There's potentially 3 items there. One of which is technically locked behind the lamp, but with, you know, good skill, you can just get through that area, no problem. And you'll see a lot of the players in this tournament do that. No sweat.
Absolutely. So it looks like SuperNinTaylor is going to the dam. So there's 2 items here. Probably will then route down to the mini Moldorm cave. And then we'll probably see some fake flippers. Oh, it looks like he's picking up powder.
That does unlock an item at the Magic Bat, but they still need Hammer in order to access that, or Dark World access in the mirror. So we're probably not going to be seeing that for a while, but it's a nice safety item for sure.
So Tojso skipped the first chest in Eastern, or did I just completely miss it?
Key there.
Oh, okay. Alright, so SuperNinTaylor leaving the 20 rupees behind in the water, some soggy rupees. He definitely has enough for Zora, so no need to go out of his way to pick it up. With no sword. Ooh, nice. We're seeing some cane strats.
That's awesome. Wow, so well used here.
Absolutely.
He's got to be careful with his magic, though. He's running out. He does have bombs, and he does have a bee if he wants to unleash
wow!
that.
Very nicely done.
He's good to go.
Oh, he picks up the flute! And
that is pretty
nothing,
awesome.
nothing else. Oh,
there's
but
a mirror!
Tojso picking up the mirror!
Wow. So these guys have branched off in completely different directions, and both of them have paid off big time.
Yeah, and Tojso's gonna actually be able to use the mirror when he goes to the dam in order to do the block erase glitch. So very small amount of time to save, but in these tournament matches, we know that every moment matters.
Definitely. But I mean, activating the flute early gives you a lot of mobility as well, so that we could see that come into play a little earlier here for for Taylor. So I think they both have like awesome items here that they can use in different ways. But that mirror might be an important piece of the puzzle because that does give them access to Tower of Hera, with the flute being where it was.
And I see we have the swag ducks in the chat.
Gotta spam the swag ducks, guys. And we see Tojso making it through the dark room to get a sword.
Very nice play. Very nice play.
Paid off big time.
So it looks like now Tojso is definitely heading down to the dam. So yeah, this is... Oh, he might be skipping it. Which is not bad because there wasn't really anything over there besides powder, which he can't really use at the moment without the hammer. But SuperNinTaylor finding the lamp.
That's really nice.
That might lead him over to Eastern, even though he doesn't have the bow. It's still something. Something
could
to
also
unlock
put
a little bit.
escape on his mind as well.
He did get that key in Sanctuary, so could go all the way through.
Exactly. And then there's also, you know, the other part of escape as well. So there's still a lot of locations for these guys to search right now. And that lamp definitely gives them access to Tower of Hera as well.
Looks like Cane of Burna is what's sitting on the floating island there.
My boy Brian.
And we'll get to see here what the hobo has in store for SuperNinTaylor. Oop, just some bombs. Both players pretty full on bombs at the moment. Got a lot right at the beginning.
Ooh, and we see a Fake Flipper's exit from Hobo from Taylor here. A very cool trick that you can set up. You have to be very precise with this one. But if you do get it, you know, it'll save you some time. And he'll be heading over to the Zora area. He's got all the rupees he needs. He can check, actually, the Waterfall Cave, which is a nice addition to version 26 that we're playing here. There are 2 chests in this Waterfall Cave. And if you do have the Moon Pearl, you can execute a Walk on Water glitch, which allows you to actually walk over the water, collect these 2 items, and then you'll be able to check the Zora Ledge item and go to Zora as well. So he'll be able to clean out this whole area, which is awesome. He may not be able to collect the item on the ledge unless he knows some particular tricks to get that one. But Bombos is a nice find.
Absolutely. So we got the ledge. Oh, no, well, we don't have the ledge item because we didn't get to see it. So we have found Bombos. We know where Quake is. However, we don't know whether or not Turtle Rock or Misery Mire are... Oh, there's our second sword as well.
Very nice purchase, I gotta say.
So this could also be hinting for Aghanim as well, depending upon what they find. They might have pretty much... Well, they'll have everything that they need in order to do Aghanim and get to Dark World. So will either the players do that, or they still have many other places that they can go?
Yeah, they're starting to run out. I think Escape is the big one, which we see Taylor here doing. And Tojso's on his way to get his sword upgrade, so he'll actually be at Master Sword, and he will actually be able to make that decision. Taylor hasn't made it over to Eastern Palace, so until he does, like, that's probably... I think he'll probably do Eastern before Aghanim, but I don't know. The seed might be pointing him in the direction of Aghanim. You got all the pieces of the puzzle to make it happen.
Exactly.
The lamp being probably the biggest of them. You don't want to go through there dark.
So SuperNinTaylor not finding a lot in Escape so far. Just 20 rupees in the chest with the blue guard. And maybe we'll see the ledge item this time? And it's a heart. Well, it's not too much of a miss for SuperNinTaylor not seeing it. But he might remember at some point that he didn't see it and maybe come back here. So hopefully that's not the case. And SuperNinTaylor picking up his burrito in Hyrule Castle.
You gotta have a little snack on your way down to save the princess, maybe? I don't think we're gonna be doing that anytime soon.
All right, so we're seeing the sword strats here from SuperNinTaylor. Unfortunately, he's trying to death warp. Yeah, he's there we go. For a second, I was getting worried.
Switching over to bombs because it looks like he wants to kill himself with bombs. He's not. He threw it away, but okay. He got a health refill from the piece of heart in the chest. Oh,
my God.
That's classic.
Oh, that was great.
Oh, amazing.
Oh my gosh. So it looks like Tojso is opting to pick up that 20 rupees. He was a little short because he was only at 9 before. So it looks like he is going to be heading to Desert. Doesn't have the glove yet. But most of the stuff he's pretty much got. Gloves and boots are the only things he's missing. In order to
and boots might not even be required.
Exactly.
And we do have Agnes Cave here. We've got the Desert Ledge item, and potentially up to 2 items in Desert to look through. So it's definitely a good check. These guys also have access to Tower of Hera as well.
Yep. Old man in the cave.
Yep.
Agina just holding out some bombs over there. Lots of bombs this seed.
Oh, looks like he is not electing to continue into Desert. Interesting.
That is quite interesting because I don't even believe that we really got a chance to see. Yeah, he definitely had the ability to go in there. But maybe he was thinking he might have to make double dipped because of not having boots. So
I think what he's gonna do is he's gonna combo it with getting the flute. He hasn't activated his flute yet, so he's gonna probably flute over to 6 and then jump down and see what the ledge item is, and then maybe go into Desert if he's still thinking about it. That could be a decent way to do it.
Absolutely. And 3 chests in Escape are nothing good, unfortunately.
Oh, bummer. Man, Escape not paying off at all. We'll see where Taylor goes here. He might flute up to 1 and head to Death Mountain area. That could be a decent play. Or he could go over to Eastern. Looks like he's in Sahasrara.
Yeah, and Tojso heading to save the old man. So SuperNinTaylor is going to pick up his second sword here, as well as the mirror. So that'll give him access to Tower of Hera. So any guesses on what the old man is hiding here?
I mean, we all want to say love, but I'm going to go with just bombs. They've got plenty of bombs. Oh, it's rupees.
It's just his allowance. Old man allowance.
Well, you provided him with a valuable service. Paying you. Zora the Escorter.
Alright, so on Spectacle Rock, we have some Pizza Hearts.
And inside of the bow!
Oh, wow!
That is an awesome find. So these guys can complete Eastern Palace now. But Tojso's already been there, so he just needs to go beat the boss.
Yeah, and I believe there's still one more item that they can find in Eastern.
I think you're right, but I'm not 100% sure.
Tojso, now having the bow and the silver arrows, will be able to make really quick work of Armos.
Oh yeah, definitely. But I think we're gonna still see him go up to Hera now. I think it's a fantastic check, and he will be able to grab the item at the Ether Tablet since he does have the Master Sword. He'd be able to read it anyways and see what it is. That's a cool version 26 change as well, where you can actually read the tablets just like you can read the pedestal with the Book of Mudora. So I think, you know, if Taylor doesn't actually find that second sword upgrade, which I assume he's going to go through this and find it soon, he would be reading it too, but...
So yeah, it looks like he's pulling out the book, and Tower of Hera is a required dungeon, so we'll probably see him complete that. He does have the lamp, so he is able to access the basement if that is required. Looks like just rupees, unfortunately, from the Ether Tablet.
We'll see what Hera holds.
SuperNinTaylor picking up his mirror.
And this is a fine play as it's a crystal anyways.
Oh, and that's the
medallion.
That's the last medallion as well. They both know that Quake is in the library, so if Misery Mar or Turtle Rock is required, they pretty much have everything, or every medallion that they need to access it, so.
But Boots could be trolling them for a while, potentially. So, if actually that Quake is required, that could be a big pain at the same time.
So far, finding the big key and one item in Tower of Hera means there's one item still left. So hopefully it's not hidden behind the basement. The basement break room.
The good news is he will be able to do it if he wants to. And I imagine he will.
Oh, seeing a bomb jump here.
Looks good to me. Oh, maybe not.
Unfortunately, not high enough. These sprites are
must have been
somewhat...
one pixel
Oh,
off.
no! Oh, 2 floors down. That's not fun for him. But yeah, these different sprites are sometimes a little bit more confusing with setting up bomb jumps if you're used to the Link sprite. They have different visual cues.
And that's a costly fall. 2 floors. So that's giving Taylor a chance to catch up here, because he's already going up Death Mountain on his escort quest, so he'll be probably making his way up to Hera, grabbing himself the D.
Alright, big chest time! Let's see what it's gonna be! A burrito!
So that means I think something is in...
Yep,
basement.
something is definitely in the
Because
basement.
Moldworm's gonna have to drop a key here. So Tojso hasn't been over to escape, but where else can these players go? What do you think, Sakura? Where should they be going?
Well, they do they do need to still go to desert potentially.
Yeah, that could be a big play.
Egg they can do, but that was the sequence break in order to get to the Master Sword. So, it isn't something that they technically should need to do at the moment. So I would think that desert is likely to hold some sort of key that will help them progress somehow.
Sounds pretty logical to me, yeah. And then there's also maybe an item at Armos here as well.
Exactly.
Which, it could be a bit of a long trek, but could pay off big time. And you get your crystal anyways, so you got to do it at some point.
Exactly. So it looks like we're gonna see the break room here, guys.
And we saw an awesome bomb jump from Taylor there to get across the Spectacle Rock Cave area there. That was really cool.
Unfortunately, getting knocked out of place by the tile there. Tojso did not get a chance to take a break. He's gonna have to slash all these tiles here. And one more tile. SuperNinTaylor picking up his ether medallion.
Well, he did just do that too. And there's the power glove!
Well, that would have given them access to Zora. So that would be their master sword. So now they technically would be able to do Aghanim freely at this point.
Right, and they can also finish Desert.
Yep. Potentially, if they do not need the boot.
True. They can steal the key too if they want to do some sneaky things in Desert Palace to try to sequence break the logic. But we're seeing Tojso book it over to the escape. I think he's gonna try to clean this area out because there's a lot of items here. Unfortunately for him, this is just a dud. This is it's a waste of time.
Yeah, nothing major over here except for the cane of Samaria.
I thought he already picked this stuff up, but yeah. But that's not going to progress him in any way right now. Cane is a very late game item.
Very much so. Either Misery Mire, Turtle Rock, sometimes Ice Palace. Depending upon how you want to clear it.
So here's an interesting play from Tojso. I think he's going to go up and get this cross-room chest in the sewers and then probably mirror out and then do the rest of escape because he does have those gloves. He's going to have access to the 3 chests at the end. I mean, he could continue going and get those 3 chests and then mirror back. That could also be an option for him. Might be about the same amount of time. And then he can just keep, going through escape. And then once he's done, he could do Aghanim even. So this might save him a bit of time.
SuperNinTaylor getting his Muldorm kill. That'll be his first crystal as well. Both players sitting at 2 crystals now.
We are 28 minutes in. We have not really been in the Dark World very much. I mean, just going up the mountain there.
So it looks like we're gonna see him go all the way.
Definitely a solid play. I mean, get the items now and then potentially set yourself up to be doing Aghanim.
And SuperNinTaylor also going to the break room in the basement of Tower of Parrot. I think this is great for him. If he would have skipped it, that would have been really disappointing for him later on.
That would have been devastating, yeah. That would just be kind of like a loose square.
Oh, gosh. Love
Got
it.
him.
Love it. All right, break time. Everyone get your water bottles, fill up on your drinks. For SuperNinTaylor, Tojso gonna get his piece of heart in Zelda's love dungeon here. And SuperNinTaylor grabbing his power gloves. I wonder where that's going to lead him, because he does have the bow to access Eastern Palace. He does have the book and everything to access Desert.
I really like the Desert play, but I understand going to Eastern just to finish it up. Because if you get an item too and a crystal, like, this is something you have to do anyways. So it kind of makes sense. And if it's like the boots, then then you're definitely in good shape for desert. It'll be crazy if there is a progression item at Armos, because then Eastern Palace would have the mirror, a sword, and another progression item.
Yeah. And the funny thing is you wouldn't even be able to access, you wouldn't have been able to access the bow without getting, I guess, oh no, the bow is up on Death Mountain.
You could get the flute first, yeah. But it'd still be a bit roundabout.
Yeah.
Alright.
Looks like both our players are going to Eastern.
About to say, yeah, Tojso making the same play, so these guys are thinking alike. I mean, these are top-notch players, so they're gonna make solid plays, and these are good ones.
So neither player really needs rupees at this point, so we probably won't see. But on the right-hand side of the Eastern Palace room here, the Stark, there is actually a room you can farm rupees. That you'll see in the tournament. A bunch of players will opt to go in there if they still need money for Zora, or if they need money for anything in Dark World still as well.
Yeah, Taylor did get an extra handful of rupees from doing Houlihan. But Tojso may elect to do this because you need 100 for Palace of Darkness, and then you need some for Digging Game and the chess game and stuff. So it might not be a bad thing to do right now, just to knock it out, get your rupees.
Yeah, absolutely. Last thing you want to do is go to one of those areas and then not be able to afford the item.
Oh, that would be devastating. So here we got Silver Arrow's Armos fight. Should be a cinch. Easy every time. Vanilla heart container for his troubles.
So nothing major here that's going to help them progress, but that is Crystal 5, if I'm not mistaken. So depending upon where Crystal 6 is in the Dark World, we might be able to see Double-Chested Fairy at some point. Not now, obviously. Ooh, Tojso with a little bit of a quick release on the arrow there. Wasn't
Taylor
able to...
thinking about this one. He's trying to figure out what's the right play. I think he was deciding between Aghanim and Desert. Decided on Desert. I don't believe he's checked Aghanim's cave yet, but Tojso has. So that's kind of a little bit of a difference between the two players. Might seem that Taylor's a little bit ahead, but Tojso has actually checked that cave. So they're pretty even right now.
Alright, so I think Tojso will probably head to Desert as well. Yeah. Exactly where they're going. These players are thinking so alike.
Yeah, only 50 on the ledge here, so nothing there, but we'll see what's in this first chest.
Oh, it's the big key, so they can continue.
But if the small key's on the torch, it could be trouble. It's the bug net!
Well, we probably won't see some swag in him unless we can find some boots pretty quick. So there's the small key.
But that leaves us with only one other item here in Desert. So if this doesn't progress them, Aghanim is pretty much all they got, I think.
Yep, absolutely. And they do have bows, so when they do get into Dark World from Aghanim, they actually might be forced to go to Pod.
Very true. They can check the pyramid, or they can get the mitts.
Wow.
Well, he's noping out of there.
Yeah.
And with the flute, he can actually check the mire area and then finish up Desert this way if he wants. But it looks like he's just heading straight to the Village of Outcasts.
Yeah, no love, no love for Aghanim, apparently, this this seed. And Tojso also picking up his Titansmith.
So it looked like we had Crystal 6 over in Skull Woods. And we have a green pendant in Palace of Darkness and a red pendant over in Swamp Palace. That's what I caught.
So interestingly enough, Palace of Darkness being the other... Oh, hello, Hookshot.
What an awesome find right there. He can use it immediately. But that is amazing.
So Todge unfortunately didn't have the knowledge of what was on the ledge. So he wasn't able to quickly... Oh, there we go. The map check again. So Crystal 6 is Skullwoods, I think.
That's correct.
Okay. So yeah, Crystal 6 being Skullwoods, it is something that they're pretty easily able to complete. All they need is the Fire Rod, so Fire Rod definitely won't be a double-chested fairy. They do have the book. So maybe while SuperNinTaylor's over here, maybe he might check out the pedestal.
Oh, snap. That would be fun. But I think Skull has already paid off for him getting that hook shot. That was a fantastic find, especially something's over in Hookshot Cave. Now, the east side of Death Mountain is available, and that has a ton of items, both in the Light World and the Dark World. So we might see him head over there at some point soon. Looks like he's going to clean up some of this northern Dark World area as Tojso makes his way into the Village of Outcasts. Let's see if he decides to go for the Skullwoods play.
Oh, I did not see what was on top of...
Let's see that. These guys are too fast for us.
So it looks like Tojso heading into the chest game. And just finding a bomb inventory upgrade, not what we're looking for. If he would find the Fire Rod here, though, that would be perfect for him.
Oh, that would be fantastic, because then that would lead him to that hook shot, and he'd be able to finish the dungeon, maybe do a little pedestal check for us, you know?
SuperNinTaylor finding 20 rupees in the little bat cave here in Sanctuary.
Yep, and it looks like SuperNinTaylor is going to be joining Tojso in Village of Outcasts. Tojso going for that digging game. I imagine he'll be doing like all the dwarves and stuff, and probably routing south with the purple chest, unless maybe he finds the hammer. That might give him the confidence to go into Thieves Town. Or he could take a gamble and just go in there right away.
Yeah, Thieves Town definitely being accessible. I don't know. I feel like with this logic, the current logic, dungeon diving is actually way more rewarding than overworld stuff. So we might find some pretty decent stuff in Thieves Town as well. Might even find the hammer.
It can pay off big time, but yeah, without the hammer, it's a little bit of a risk leaving that big chest unchecked. But if you do find the hammer, then you're in golden shape. So it's all about those gambles, those calculated risks. Maybe the smiths will have forged up a hammer for these guys.
Well, that would be very handy. Especially with the pegs being right outside.
Only 20 bucks. Looks like SuperNinTaylor is going into Thieves Town, busting out that hook shot for just a little faster movement. getting through this area. Definitely a help. Going into Skull Woods and finding that hook shot.
Oh, and another bee.
Shoutouts to Beator. Ooh, Magic Bat. Interesting play. Now, he lost his portal there because he did this mirror play with the Magic Bat, but this could pay off big time. Something good like a hammer.
Oh, no. Unfortunately, just the heart.
So we're going to see him flute likely to 7 here and deliver that purple chest.
Special delivery.
And it looks like SuperNinTaylor is continuing. Yeah, and unfortunately that purple chest's not paying off. SuperNinTaylor is continuing through Thieves Town. You know, sometimes you see players just check a few chests here at the beginning and then come back later once you get the hammer. But he is continuing on, and we'll see what we find, but he may not be able to get that big chest.
Using the hookshot very nicely here on the lamps in order to give him a little bit of a boost.
That is cool. These kind of small optimizations really add up over the course of a run. Really neat to see players using like items that they have in so many different ways. We got Tojso going in Thieves Town as well, but he does not have the hookshot. So he will not be able to do these cool strats like Taylor's showing us here.
Yeah, exactly. Taylor's actually making some pretty good progress here, not taking much damage because he's able to use those iframes from the hookshot as well as make his way through these rooms quickly. So we'll get to see what's in this room, in this chest. It is 20 rupees. Unfortunately, not what either player is going to be looking for, but hey, at least some more rupees in case they need anything. Probably not bombs at this point.
Yeah, maybe if they want to buy some potions, you know, release those bees and fill them up with something a little more useful. I mean, you can use bees in some interesting ways, but these guys have some pretty good weapons at this point. Silver arrows being a major one, and solid master sword. So there is still a map at large here in Thieves Town. If they don't find it, then it will be in that big chest.
And there's definitely a small key as well.
Yup, we're gonna find a small key here at the maiden cell. So it's kind of a 50-50 right now. But they're both gonna have to deal with it, so I guess it's pretty even. These guys have been really routing the same throughout this whole thing. I mean, we've seen some divergence early on, but it's all kind of converged into Thieves Town at this point. Like, they've kind of done similar things. I think SuperNinTaylor has a little bit of an advantage with that hook shot, but Tojso could easily just run up to Skull Woods and find that immediately. So
exactly.
We'll have to see when he makes that play.
It's not very deep in there, so we're seeing a nice blind fight so far from SuperNinTaylor, making pretty quick work of blind here.
Really nice.
One more hit. There we go. Perfectly done. SuperNinTaylor picking up the map. So there is an item. There is an item that is left in that small chest or big chest.
If that's basically, it can be basically anything but the hammer, which is crazy. And these guys need a lot of items still. We still need Fire Rod, Ice Rod. Technically, Flippers is in the logic for Ice Palace, but not necessarily required. But might be required if we got to delve into Swamp Palace.
Might be required if it's a pedestal scene.
Oh, I like where you're going with this. And then we may need the boots for getting that Quake medallion. or even in G Tower, the big key could be on the lamp. But that's a little less likely. You see a lot of players just go for it otherwise.
Oh,
are we seeing a pedestal check right now?
Yeah, I'm sure we're seeing a pedestal check.
Oh, can we get some pedestal hype in the chat for SuperNinTaylor making the pedestal plays? I want to see some spam.
All right, here we go. Moment of truth, guys. Gotta pull out the book and... just couch cash. Couch cash hype.
Hey, I'm still hype about the check. That was still awesome. Thank you, SuperNinTaylor. Honestly, we can't really complain. We got 2 pedestal required seeds in the qualifiers leading up to this. So
that is true.
I'm sure we'll see plenty more over the course of the tournament.
So we might see some hype cave pretty soon.
I would expect so.
We could also see the Skull Woods dive from Tojso, but it looks like he's finishing up. I thought he grabbed his chest, but I guess not.
Imagine if the hammer was there. You'd feel pretty bad.
Goodness.
But fortunately for him, it is not, and he is routing north. We might see him go into Skull Woods. I'm a little surprised. I mean, I think SuperNinTaylor is heading in a good direction, going towards Hype Cave. I love myself some Hype Cave. But I'm a little surprised we don't see him going up to Death Mountain. I think that could be a really solid play right now.
I think, ooh, Half Magic sitting on the bumper cave, which we didn't get a chance to see on SuperNinTaylor's screen. But yeah, Half Magic up there.
That is a really nice safety, but I don't expect either of these guys to go for it, especially not having the cape right now. You know,
yeah,
gonna have to return, but Tojso's gonna be super happy jumping into Skull Woods when he grabs his hook shot. This is a great play for him.
And SuperNinTaylor is cleaning up the stuff that Tojso has already done. So again, they're pretty much fairly evenly tied again at this point.
They're like dead even. I think Taylor will be able to route a little bit better southward now towards Hype Cave if he just wants to take the chest. But it depends if he wants to check the magic bat or not, and it looks like he is going to.
Well, they did get powder very early, so I could definitely see why they would think that it would be good to check this right away. So Tojso is going to be going to the last chest here that he can access. Then he'll probably leave, because he can't get any farther in here. It is nice having the Key into Samaria, though, for that room. So you don't have to worry about pushing the statues with everything attacking you.
Oh, it looks like Tojso's going to continue to check his pedestal here. So, some good routing from him. And then I imagine he will flute up to Death Mountain. At least that's where I want him to go. I think it's a solid play.
So again, we got a pedestal check. Unfortunately, or I think he's going to be pretty happy with what's sitting at the pedestal, knowing that he doesn't have to do the extra dungeon.
Alright, so, where are you going, Tojso? It's Death Mountain. So these guys have split up and are checking pretty lucrative areas. Like, Tojso has a bunch of items up here. They don't have to pay off. And there's a bunch of items over here towards Hype Cave. So both of them could get some cool items, or either of them, or maybe we'll see some differences.
Ooh, just a bomb upgrade so far, and we're gonna get to see what Stumpy has for these players. All right. Let's see what we got. 10 arrows. Stumpy giving out some wood.
Ooh la la. We're gonna see these two chests here.
Unfortunately, neither of those chests paying off either. Both these players, unfortunately, not getting too much from here. Ooh. Finally got a shield.
Can we get some hype for Hype Cave? And that sword upgrade, that was pretty sweet too.
Yeah, tempered sword.
Got a piece of heart from the NPC here. 20 bucks, 20 bucks. This is good, this is hype. And
oh, the boost!
Oh!
Oh my god! Well, that was pretty hype.
That was pretty hype.
The build-up for the hype, too, was good. Rupees, red, 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 and then red again. So, and Tojso's gonna be going through here, unfortunately, without the boots.
SuperNinTaylor doing some cool strats now. He found the boots. He can use the hook shot and dash with the chest. But now he's going to be dashing all over the place. And we're also probably going to see a Bombos check.
Yep, absolutely. Some very good routing here from SuperNinTaylor.
He's done a really good job of just like cleaning out like the whole village of outcasts and like northern Dark World area, and now he can just focus on everything in on this side of the world. It's really, really well done.
All right, and Bombos just dropping a Pizza Heart. So interestingly enough, Misery Mire Medallion is Quake, which he is able to pick up now that he's got the boot. So, and he has the Cane of Samaria, Silver Arrows, the Lamp, pretty much everything required to beat it.
And interestingly, these guys can get into Turtle Rock. I mean, Tojso may not be able to if it is Quake, but well, he knows where it is.
They do need the hammer.
Oh, true. If he does find the hammer up here in Hookshot Cave,
yeah.
He could do that. That's crazy. We haven't actually found the hammer. We're 52 minutes in. We haven't found a hammer.
Oh, and he sees the Quake Medallion requirement, so another bottle for Tojso, and oh, the Fire Rod!
Full heart, that's always nice. And another full heart. Some love and a Fire Rod. So we might see him go back to Skull Woods now.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad play. It is a dungeon that is required. And Skull Woods, lately, I've felt like it's had a really high item possibility. But that is going to lead him away from Hype Cave, which is going to lead him away from Boot.
Yep, he's going to be doing all this pretty slow. But, I mean, he's making progress. He's working towards crystals, and that one's actually an important crystal. I believe it's Crystal 6. So these guys with Tower of Hera and Skull Woods complete will be able to get the double-chested fairy.
Absolutely. We do know Turtle Rock is required, so we will be looking for Ice Rod still. But I think besides Flippers and Hammer, of course, that's pretty much what they're missing. Just Hammer, Flippers, and the Ice Rod.
Right, and they don't really need the Flippers unless something's locked away in Swamp Palace. Because Swamp Palace is a pendant, and they can fake Flippers over to Ice Palace.
So SuperNinTaylor now is going to be picking up his Fire Rod pretty soon. So a tempered Mothula fight actually is really nice. 4 hits as long as you don't hit Mothula into the spikes.
These guys are very healthy. The seed has been very nice to these players.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot of hearts. We got blue mail. We have tempered. We have silvers. Very, very nice seed in terms of just safeties and stuff in general.
Alright, so that's 1, 2. Oh.
He's trying to get him out of the corner.
Yeah. Mothula is just like, nope, I'm gonna stay at the top. There we go. Mothula down. Big key obtained.
Big key. Yeah.
So there's still 1 item here in Skull Woods. There's the chest that Tojso hasn't checked. It was just before Mothula in this area here. And there's also now the big chest that he can access, so.
And SuperNinTaylor has his fire rod now. Keep in mind, all this time that Tojso doesn't have the boots, SuperNinTaylor can just basically make up all that time.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's the last item.
Yeah, like Spiral Cave. It's pretty free with boots.
Yeah, he's making really quick work of this Spiral Cave.
So the question still remains, where is the hammer?
Yeah, it could be in Misery Mire. There is 2 items there. They do have access to be able to complete it now, or at least SuperNinTaylor does.
Now, what's kind of interesting right now is without the hammer and the flippers, these guys can't make their way over to the east side of the world unless they beat Aghanim. However, there is an interesting walk-on-water glitch that you can do to do that. If SuperNinTaylor knows this strategy, he could actually potentially skip Aghanim and head over to that east side without beating Aghanim. So we could see like a cool play there. And if Hammer's in pod or something, that could be crazy.
So yeah, we're pretty much seeing for Tojso, he's gonna find his red rupee here. SuperNinTaylor just gonna be cleaning up the rest of Death Mountain. Then there's not too much that we haven't seen here. Besides Misery Mire.
Yeah, I agree. I think Tojso wants his hype cave, and this is the only portal you can use to get there right now. So that's exactly where he's going. I think SuperNinTaylor's about to make the same mistake I did earlier.
Oh no!
I think he can jump in on T-Rock. Oh hey!
Oh hey, no hammer! Oh man!
Now, a couple commonly overlooked locations are the Flanctuary items, the Bonk Rocks, and King's Tomb. I don't think we've seen SuperNinTaylor do that.
Nope, that is correct.
So those could be pretty nice plays right now. But he is going to go finish up Skull Woods. I think this is a fine play. You know, just get it done, get it out of the way, and unlock the double-chested fairy, which is something that Tojso cannot actually do in his route right now.
Oh my gosh, the double-chested fairy can have the hammer.
It can have the hammer, which is crazy if that's the case. That would be absolutely nuts if we see the double-chested fairy with the hammer. That would force Aghanim to be completed, because they could use the mirror to get over to that Dark World portal and then unlock the double-chested fairy. That would be incredible to see. I think that's the dream that we all want right now.
Yes. Tojso is gonna be checking Bombos, which didn't check before going to Hype Cave, unfortunately. Would be able to do this a little bit quicker if he had the boots.
I'm sure he'll find them pretty soon. He'll be relieved. But maybe he'll think he's a little bit behind. We might see some cool gambles.
Yeah, absolutely.
But he's still been making great progress. I mean, both of these guys are pretty even keel.
And SuperNinTaylor's getting a little bit better, Mothula, with Mothula being down farther on the screen for him. Instead of hiding at the top the whole time. So picking up his big key. I wonder if he's gonna go for that second item in here.
I would hope so.
And Tojso's gonna be picking up his boots right now.
SuperNinTaylor's skipping it. A bold play, but it's paying off.
Yeah, it is only 20 rupees, so...
SuperNinTaylor realizing, I don't think I... Oh! Where are you going? You gotta have the hammer! Oh, bummer.
It's one of those things that you, I guess, take for granted. Having the hammer, being able to access so much of the Dark World.
I think we're seeing the flanctuary items simultaneously here. Look at this. These guys are so synced up.
Will we see a high five in between them? Alright, hard piece, and wow, these are not being very nice. Well, I don't know. We might not get a high five.
Doing a little bit of a runaround, yeah.
Yeah. Well, bye! Tojso pulling out his flute. Both gonna be fluting off. And it'll be interesting to see where they both decide to go from here.
What do you think, Sakura? Misery Mire, or?
I think that the logical play would be to do Misery Mire at this point. It is a dungeon that is required. They do have, they'd have to pick up Quake first before they do. But it looks like SuperNinTaylor may be going to Aghanim?
Oh, snap.
I think we're seeing an Aghanim.
This is a bold play, but it can pay off big time. I mean, this gives you access to the double-chested fairy and all of the Eastern Dark World. So, this could be big.
So I think Tojso is going to go pick up Quake right now. And I think he's going to head to Misery Mire.
Yeah, this is interesting. We'll see which one pays off, or maybe both will pay off.
Yeah, if Hammer is sitting on the ledge at the pyramid, or even at double-chested fairy, then
oh my goodness, Hammer at double-chested fairy is such a corner case, but it's such an amazing thing to happen.
Yeah, I think Tojso is making the right play though. With going to Misery Mire, it is required. He has the ability to complete it, and there's 2 items in here. So, whereas in Aghanim's area, there is no items in there, but it does unlock a vast majority of the world. But it's 5 minutes worth of the dungeon that you may or may not need to do.
Right. Fortunately for him, he does have boots. So these guys have boots now, so they can get through it pretty quickly.
Very nicely done. Tojso now into the dungeon. So we'll see. He doesn't have either cape or Burna, but so that chest that is sitting on this spike, I guess the logic says that you would need to have one of those to access it. So it'll be interesting to see if there's anything good in there. That means that they should find Cape.
They should find Cape somewhere, but since Aghanim has been available for so long, you know, it could be anywhere in East Dark World too.
Exactly. Oh, and it's just a red rupee, so nothing major.
That's one of the 2 items in Misery Mire. There's only one more to look for here, but he's gonna do a full clear. Still gotta find that big key too.
Three hearts.
Gotta be a little bit careful.
Yep, and SuperNinTaylor taking on Aghanim 1.
Yeah, he's almost through. This was pretty quick.
And he's getting some... At least he's not getting all blue balls. So he's got 3 hits so far.
He's guaranteed this 4th one.
And it's when you're on the side like that, you're pretty much guaranteed not to be hit by blue balls. So, oh, there's another one.
Ooh, the butter sword.
Well, that's
the
last item for Misery Mire. So besides Misery Mire, I don't think there's really anywhere else that they can access besides defeating Aghanim. So it looks like it might have been required after all.
I like SuperNinTaylor spazzing out there with Aghanim.
Doing the Aga dance.
That's right.
And there's the big key.
So he can just go on and finish this.
Is that another bottle?
We'll be out of here. I guess so, yeah. Where's SuperNinTaylor going?
Good question. Is he hiding from the guards? He's taking a trip around the world with the swag duck.
I guess.
Oh, he was thinking about going down. Oh, okay, yeah. But did he forget about Pod?
I think because he's made this Aghanim play, the only way to get to the double-chested fairy is this way. So he wants to immediately cash this in.
Oh, okay.
And make a big play on it. So I think that's what he's doing. I thought he would probably go up to Catfish at least, and then like save and quit, and then do this. But he wants to do this as quickly as possible. He wants to know that his Aghanim play paid off, and it might very well if the hammer is sitting there. So he was fluting to places that have hammer portals. That wasn't working out for him.
And Tojso in now the Vitreous fight. Very clean so far. And 2 hits. Wow, Vitreous down. Next
Beautiful
crystal
fight.
obtained.
So here's what we're talking about. If you beat Aghanim, you can use the mirror with the big bomb here. And then you can take the Aghanim portal to get to the pyramid and unlock the items that are there. And this is a situation where Hammer can actually be at the double-chested fairy, which is an amazing thing that can happen. So we're about to see if this holds true. Here we go, guys.
All right. And it's so far not the hammer. He can do pod though. He can do a bunch of pod, which could be holding flippers, which could lead him to swamp, which could lead him to the hammer.
I think Tojso is going for the sequence break. So if you stand near a hole and do a dash, you can set yourself up in a state such that you can do a walk on water glitch. So I think we're about to see that from Tojso here. He might check if he's in that state once he gets over to this ladder over here. And you can actually cross the river over towards the catfish area. So yeah, he just checked it there. He can walk over that ladder very quickly. And now he can just dash over to this water and walk on water. So he's going to be catching up quick by doing this. But he does miss out on the Fat Fairy, so he probably has that going on, and it's fine.
Oh, and the flippers at catfish!
Oh, wow. And Tojso took the portal here. Interesting choice. I guess he wants his blue cane? I don't know what he's doing.
Oh. Yeah, he took damage.
On land.
And yeah.
You can't move onto land. I'm surprised he didn't just like walk up the ramp over there and just like lift the stone if he wanted to go over the pot area.
Well, SuperNinTaylor now has flippers and the ability to get into Ice Palace, but without the hammer, he can't complete it. So he's gambling on a hammer in Ice Palace.
It's a big gamble, but, you know, pod is a pendant. So at least you can kind of clear through a crystal dungeon. And if you do find the hammer here, you can actually just complete the dungeon entirely. So it's not a bad play. I like the play. And he's pushing his advantage of having gotten access to this East Dark World area. And knowing that the flippers are over here so that he knows that this isn't the logic.
Yeah, so far, first chest, not the hammer. But yeah, it's really, it's an reminder that both players are still looking for the ice rod.
And that could be anywhere, except basically at Trinex or after in G Tower. Needs to make sure he doesn't get hit here.
Oh no!
Oh,
oh wait, but he's... Is he still okay?
No,
oh no, he's not.
He's not okay.
Oh man.
This is a problem with doing this kind of sequence break if there are risks involved. That is not paying off for Tojso right now. I think if he just took the ramp like right in front of Catfish or whatever, that would pay off better for him.
I think by this time he probably could have defeated Aiden.
Not quite, but yeah, he's getting there.
So we're gonna see the setup. If only he would just go to Catfish.
I bet SuperNinTaylor really wanted that to be a small key so he could go back upstairs. Now he's going to have to keep delving deeper in here. Kind of go the long way.
Yeah, Ice Rod and Hammer is the only thing that they're looking for. And both items for Desert Palace have been found. Neither player has gone to Pod yet, or Swamp, which Swamp has 5 items as well. And but you can't get, or sorry, 6 items as well, but you can't get very far if you don't have the hammer. So, but it could be in the first chest.
That's right.
Oh, again, Tojso getting hit. Unfortunately.
That's rough.
Yeah, I think this is the point where he's just gonna go to egg him. Yeah. So it would have saved him a little bit of time if he had used that walk on water glitch to actually go to catfish instead.
Yeah, there's a lot lower risk. There's like a guy there that like throws bombs at you to hit you, but those flying guys that throw bombs at you, oh, those guys are the worst. They cling to you like glue, and they just troll you as much as they can.
Ooh, so big key for SuperNinTaylor.
He can't
no
continue
hammer.
making progress. He doesn't have a small key to get through the door, so he has to mirror out. Is he going to continue? He's leaving.
If hammer is in that big chest, though.
Oh. He's thinking about it. He doesn't know what to do. I think at a certain point, you just gotta commit. This is crazy. If the hammer is actually here,
yeah,
it's gonna be a really, really amazing for him.
It's just interesting to see a hammer being the trolley item.
Yeah, and it might just be vanilla pod. Like, that's what it's starting to look like. This could give Tojso a chance to catch up after, you know, missing that walk on water glitch a few times. But if it is actually here, then SuperNinTaylor has a huge leg up.
Oh, absolutely. Especially considering the fact that Tojso would still need to find the flippers, which is at Catfish, and then head towards Ice Palace.
Right.
Well,
for
if
Hammer
he decides
to be in the logic, but I mean, he could assume that flippers is somewhere. I mean, I think it's fine to go in there either way, but it's still a risky play because you can't finish the dungeon without the hammer. So if it's not in this big chest, then SuperNinTaylor has to come back here again and do it to beat Cold Stare.
So yeah, we could have vanilla pod hammer. We could have the hammer in the first chest of swamp. But I think that besides those places, we've pretty much checked everything else. We can't get to Spike Cave because that requires the hammer.
That's right. We can't get to the T-Rock.
Yep. And we've gotten the items from Desert Palace besides the bug net, and there's nothing that the bug net needs.
I don't know. These guys got boots now. They can go back. And if you think about SuperNinTaylor's position here as well, he's probably thinking, oh, I also gambled on Misery Mire. Not having the hammer, that could still be there. And we know it's not, but here we go. Big chest. Has the hammer!
Oh my god! That is a huge advantage for SuperNinTaylor.
Wow! The game's logic expects you to beat Aghanim, go to Catfish, get the flippers, come to Ice Palace to grab the hammer.
Oh, wow.
Ridiculous.
That's amazing.
And in such a way where you don't have the keys you need. Like, that's super weird, too. So you have to, like, mirror out and like, come back.
So, item-wise, though, was that the third item in Ice Palace? Because they're still looking for Ice Rod, and he just decided to go straight to the boss instead of checking the rest of the dungeon. So, if the Ice Rod is still in here, oh boy, that could be even bigger problems.
He definitely got a piece of heart early on in the dungeon, I know that. But I don't know if he found the third item.
All right, so Tojso now has defeated Aghanim. Let's see where he decides to go, but he's gonna go to Pod. That was his intention from the beginning, when he was trying to do the water dash there. So
that's what it seemed. We'll see if he changes course here and heads towards Catfish real quick.
Catfish is out of the way, but it looks like that's where he's going, and he's gonna find the flippers.
So will that lead him to Ice Palace or not? That is the question. Oh my goodness, is SuperNinTaylor just making the play on T-Rock right now? He might be. He might be assuming that Ice Rod is in there.
Well, interestingly enough, though, he still hasn't done. Oh, he still hasn't done Misery Mire.
That's right.
So yeah, he still hasn't done Misery Mire.
It's a big gamble.
Yeah.
His plays have been paying off beautifully, though. Going into Ice Palace and finding the hammer there.
Maybe he doesn't remember that he hasn't done Misery Mire?
I guess? He might just be continuing to push his advantage. Of, like, thinking, you know, I've made the right play every time. Let's continue making the right play every time.
Oh, wait. SuperNinTaylor doesn't have Quake.
Does he know where it is? I hope he knows where it is.
He did go into the library, but does he remember? He might not even remember where Quake is.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
That would be devastating. Alright, so Tojso is going to do this double-chested fairy check. It's going to be a dud. Then we're going to have to see where he goes from there. If he goes straight to Pod, maybe he's going in the right direction, but maybe not. We don't know yet.
Yeah, well, we're still looking for Ice Rod, which could be anywhere, and SuperNinTaylor is still looking for Quake.
That's right.
Ooh, unfortunately bonking off the wall back into the spike roller. Oh, and there's a shovel.
Interesting. That could be an interesting fetch quest if we have a double dip Turtle Rock and Ice Rod is at the digging spot in the Haunted Grove. That would be a really cool place for it. But he's gonna press on.
And Tojso, even though he walked over the bomb, did not pick it up there. So where is he gonna go now? He could probably go to, he can go to Pod, or he can go to Ice Palace.
I think he's going to Pod. It's got more items. The only thing that Hammer blocks you out of is the boss. Since he does have the bow. So that could pay off if Ice Rod's in here.
Oh, SuperNinTaylor got the double hit on the blocks there, moved the block, and got the chest. That was very nicely done.
Seeing some awesome tech from our players here. You know, even though Tojso wasn't quite able to make it across that river, he was still able to execute the glitch. I mean, he was just getting trolled by those bomb flying guys. I don't even know their names. But still very impressive.
Yeah, absolutely. So they have had the bow, so even though he finds the first key, if that wasn't a key, he would still be able to go through the rest of the dungeon. They've had the bow since the beginning, so this is a dungeon that they could have dipped into really early on if they would have defeated Aghanim right off the bat.
Right, and it'll be super tragic if Sahasrahla or King Helmasaur have the Ice Rod, because Tojso doesn't have the hammer right now, so he can't actually complete the dungeon. And it is the green pendant.
So we might actually see a Mimic Cave check here as well. So that's 2 items now for Tojso from Pod. And if I'm not mistaken, Pod has 4 or 5, sorry.
It does indeed. And then that green pendant kind of adds a 6th one in there. But he's not going to be able to get it. Mimic Cave.
Oh, just 50 rupees, not the Ice Rod.
The hunt continues.
Alright, so he's gonna be heading to the latter part of Pod.
We only see bombs from the big chests here in T-Rock. Generally, this later part is where you find all the good items.
Yep, unfortunately though, he hit the switch and blocked himself out of going to the collapsing bridge. So for SuperNinTaylor, the only place that he's now going to be able to find whatever he's looking for is going to be in this laser room up here. So 4 chests in here, and he's hoping to find the Ice Rod. So this is going to be a huge gamble. It paid off for Ice Palace. Will it pay off for Turtle Rock?
There's the big key in Pod.
Small rupee, green rupee. Red boomerang. He was baiting on mirroring. Oh, got knocked out though. And Tojso found the Ice Rod.
Wow.
Oh my god, the Ice Rod is in Pod.
So
unfortunately not.
Still not in go mode because he needs hammer, but we all know where everything is.
So SuperNinTaylor is heading to the digging spot, which he's not going to find either thing that he's looking for, but maybe with him being so close to the library, might take a look back in here if he remembers that Quake is here.
I hope so. That's a devastating thing to forget.
Oh, and Tojso going into Ice Palace. This is going to be really big if he decides to actually get the big chest after he can't progress anymore.
Yeah, I don't know where else he can actually go. At this point, I don't actually know a location that he hasn't been to.
And SuperNinTaylor is heading to Pod as well.
I mean, this is great for SuperNinTaylor. He really needs to get back to that library. That's killing him right now.
It really is, especially considering the fact that Ice Palace, Tojso is going to be able to complete Ice Palace while he's here, and then he can immediately go to Turtle Rock and go mode it. Whereas SuperNinTaylor is still going to be looking for that Ice Rod. So if Tojso can find the hammer, he's gonna catch up extremely quickly if SuperNinTaylor doesn't remember that Misery Mire Quake medallion is at the library. And the fact that SuperNinTaylor has the hammer, he's actually going to be able to finish the dungeon, which is going to he might spend more time in pod than he actually needs to.
And at this point, you got to think Tojso knows that like this is basically the only place he can check, so he's gonna do a full clear. He's gonna go as far as he can. Unless he missed something in his mind, he would think that hammer is here.
Very nice bomb jump setup. First try.
Beautiful.
Yeah, this is still anybody's race at this point.
It is. I would give the nod to Tojso mostly just because Hammer has locked away item locations. So with that being his go mode item, like he's almost certain to find it. It's basically here or swamp.
Exactly. Don't mirror. Okay, good. Where are you going?
I think he's gonna fall in the north room here.
Oh, okay. Yeah. For a second, I thought he was going to the key door, and I was like,
He's gonna be in the same position though, where he has to mirror out and go back in, which I assume he will do since he still hasn't checked the chest with the 2 blue jellies. But he's gonna get the big key, so he'll check the big chest first, I hope, and then he'll be in go mode. He'll be ready to go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Almost
Don't
saved
save and quit. No, that is not what you want to do. And he's going back in, so he is definitely going to get that hammer right now.
SuperNinTaylor is about to get the ice rod to his credit. But
he's still looking for Quake after that.
the Quake, yeah, that Quake is killing him.
Yep, there's the ice rod. There's the frustration slashes.
But he's gonna be very confused. Like, I assume if he doesn't actually know where it is, which seemingly he doesn't since he's continuing to check these items, like, he's just completely forgotten that it's there. Or maybe he didn't check it all, I don't know. Like, I'm pretty sure he checked.
Oh. Oh yeah, he already got the key. I was about to say, Tojso, you missed a guy.
Oh goodness, he's going for Helmasaur.
Oh no, yeah.
Because green pendant?
Green pendant.
Yeah, oh, this is devastating. Again, that having the hammer has trolled him a little bit, because it's unlocked more locations for him to check. Obviously, if Ice Rod was locked behind these locations, then he'd be in great shape, but unfortunately, not. And he's still looking for that Quake. So here we go. Tojso opening this big chest. That's go mode, guys. He is in go mode. Go mode hype.
I think he's missing a key though if he's gonna go.
Since he didn't bomb jump.
Yeah.
He's gonna have to jump in here, grab a key, and then just immediately go back. It's not too bad.
And we got the go mo spam in chat. Nice key dash. SuperNinTaylor is heading down towards Helmasaur still. It's unfortunate, because this will put Tojso up one dungeon.
Yeah, Tojso still has to do, you know, all the things in T-Rock to open up all the doors and, like, get the keys and stuff, but SuperNinTaylor still has to beat Misery Mire and then go to T-Rock, so Tojso is clearly in the lead, and I don't know what the reaction's gonna be from SuperNinTaylor when he goes to Sahasrahla. He's gonna be like, I'm out of places to check, what do I do?
Yeah, we'll probably see him pause there for a second and check his map. And Tojso making really quick work with the butter sword.
Butter cotton candy.
Yep. And getting his second last crystal, one more remaining. And SuperNinTaylor still only has the tempered sword.
Well, he hasn't been to Misery Mire.
Oh yeah, because butter sword was in Misery Mire. Oh boy.
There's that glorious green pendant. What do you think's at Sahasrahla?
I'm hoping maybe red mail? Red mail would be pretty cool.
That'd be pretty sweet, yeah. At least give him something for his trouble.
Could get a cape. Magic cape of invisibility. It's not gonna be Berna, guys. Berna is, unfortunately, on the floating island. Oh, it's a fire shield. Well, it's red.
So what do you do, SuperNinTaylor? What do you do?
He's fluting. Where are you fluting to? He's going...
I guess he's got hammer pegs, and he's got spike cave, I think.
Oh, yes.
I just realized those are hammer lock locations. And then he's got the first... No, he's got all of swamp. Oh.
He's got all of swamp that he can do.
No.
Before he runs out of locations and then has to really think about where he missed.
Down big chest. Oh, goodness. Okay, he's not going for that right now. He's doing hammer pegs first. Again, the order in which these guys collected items has trolled him, but I mean, I guess it's on him that he forgot. Unless he just didn't go in the library.
It's quite possible that he didn't.
He didn't have boots at the time, so maybe just save a little bit of time by not going in there. He's close by, though, guys. Throw him some energy. Maybe he'll go there. I think he's going to Thieves Town first, but maybe he'll remember.
Oh, he's going to Thieves. Oh, no. That's really... Oh, that's gonna be upsetting for him when he rewatches this. Or finds out where that was.
But, you know, this happens to everyone in Randomizer. There's always some item that you forget about, or, you know, you do some sequencing that trolls you in some way that just messed you up. This happens to everybody. So definitely show him some love, because I'm sure this has happened to, like, pretty much every single person in this tournament. Like,
oh, yeah. Absolutely.
And anyone who's just played Randomizer in general, really.
Ooh, Tojso with the low hearts here. 3 hearts gonna be going into the Chomp's room. I know he's got some bees in those bottles, but not any fairies, I don't believe. Oh, there's the big key.
10 arrows for SuperNinTaylor's troubles. Oh, he's not going there.
Oh, no.
It's swamp time.
Tojso gonna be pretty much skipping everything, I feel like, getting this key and heading the rest of the way. There's no need to check this other chest here. Oh, for a second, whoa, hello. I don't think I've ever seen the bunnied version of that sprite.
Yeah, I think you turn into Ruto? Is that who that was?
Yeah, that was Ruto. Yeah, so it looks like SuperNinTaylor is going to be heading into Swamp. So there are 6 items here. He probably will find some more hearts.
Is Tojso still looking for something?
I'm not particularly sure. He's looking for keys, that's for sure.
I guess yeah. He could make a gamble here.
Yeah.
Good point. Yeah, this is a safe play. So let's see what's in Swamp, guys. Here we go.
Red
There's
mail!
that red mail you wanted.
Yeah, it's sweet.
Makes it all worth it.
So, and I think that with the key that he has, Tojso actually does not need to do the laser skip room.
That's right. Yep. Thanks to that key being in the roller room, he can just go straight to Trinex. And this is a painful full clear on Swamp, too. This is a long dungeon if you're not in go mode.
Yeah, and he's absolutely going to clear the whole thing.
He needs to, yeah. If you don't know where the item you need is, you gotta do it all.
Yep. Tojso heading into his last crystal boss battle.
Let's see how this Trinex goes. He's got Butter Swords, so these heads go down quick, just 3 slashes.
Yeah, no ice, it looks like, on the ground either. So just gonna get the 1 head extension. And if you can get the double hit there, 1 more hit, and Trinex is down. Last crystal obtained by Tojso. That is gonna lead us to Ganon's Tower.
That's right, and that we have a big tradition here in the Zelda Link to the Past randomizer community. Get your guesses in the chat. Where is the big key in Ganon's Tower? We have 22 lovely locations, one of which is an awesome tile room. Get those guesses in. What do you think, Sakura? Where's it
I
going?
always guess chest 7. Always.
Lucky number 7. I know it can't be there, but I want it to be the validation chest. That's my chest. No, I'm going to go with chest number 16. I think it's going to be a little further on. I think the seed's not done trolling though.
So it looks like SuperNinTaylor is going to be heading to the Argus fight here. Instead of checking the west side of Swamp Palace, he's going to clear this first and probably come back in.
This is actually pretty good routing. He did find the big key there, so he'll be able to get the big chest on its way over the west wing. We do see a key on the right side, so Tojso is going to make a play here on the right side. Very cool.
Oh, unfortunately getting bodied a little bit by those spikes. So he might be thinking that he's behind, which is why he's making this gamble.
Well, after his shenanigans with that walk on water glitch, you gotta feel a little bit behind. And then, you know, doing all of Aghanim. You
Yeah.
gotta think that.
So SuperNinTaylor getting the red pendant from Swamp. There's the cape that we were talking about earlier. In Ganon's
Now we
Tower.
can get half magic. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna see that. Bombs on the torch. Head into Stalfos' room.
So looks like looks like Bob lives, guys. For now. So SuperNinTaylor mirroring out of Swamp. Where are you gonna head next?
Did he remember? He might have remembered. Let's hope he remembered, guys. Or is maybe he's checking like Spike Cave?
And big key found in the skeleton room.
Oh my goodness. He remembered. Oh no. Well, that's good for him. We got go mode for SuperNinTaylor. Let's show some love in the chat.
Let's get some go mode
SuperNinTaylor,
spam.
Go mode.
That fairy troll just hanging out in the wall there. Oh, very nice. Took no damage in that room as well.
Really, really nice execution from Tojso here in G Tower. Very clean. Let's see how this gauntlet goes.
So far, so good. Oh, very nice. The dash strats.
He's not messing around.
No, not at all. He's getting some nice lineups too from the enemies.
Some of this is RNG, but a lot of it is just anticipating the patterns and reading it and like executing on what you're seeing. So, you know, you got a lot of different patterns from multiple enemies in those rooms, and then you're slipping and sliding on ice.
Single cycle and Mullis.
Woo! It's on fire, guys.
Grabbing the heart, grabbing that magic. Gonna see some pain strats for the Wizrobes. It's my favorite room of Ganon's Tower. Ooh, unfortunately, missing every single Wizrobe for that one, but getting it the second time. Perfect. SuperNinTaylor just looking for the big key in Misery Mire.
We know it's in this big room, so hopefully he'll just come back and grab it. I don't think he'll be hurt not getting Butter Stored, because you gotta wait for that big wall cutscene to do it. So yeah, it looks like he's gonna be getting that immediately and heading over to Vitreous. He's still gotta do Turtle Rock and then get to G Tower, so it's a fair bit behind.
Tojso gonna grab a key from one of these guys. He needs one for the room right after the chest coming up. So it looks like he's not even going to powder these guys. Gonna grab the magic. Going to switch to Hookshot and take on Trolldorm 2. 2 hits required for Trolldorm 2 with the Butter Sword and easily defeated. Now question, will he validate? And no, he will not.
I'm watching you, Tojso. I'll remember this.
Skipping the Alucard chest. But yeah, he definitely, I believe, feels like he's behind. So I can understand why he wouldn't do that. Getting
It's definitely fair play. He's gotta go as quickly as possible here.
Oh, and very nicely done! Needs, I believe, one more hit now. Oh, 2 more hits. There we go. I guess the triple didn't count as a triple.
Yeah, unfortunately. But still really solid Aghanim. Let's see some silver arrows on Vitreous from SuperNinTaylor. It's knocking him out quick.
Alright, 2 more hits. And he's down. Vitreous is down. SuperNinTaylor gets his 6th crystal. And he'll be heading now to Turtle Rock as Tojso heads into the Ganon fight with Butter Sword and silver arrows. He's got a little bit low health. English, please, health. So he's gotta be careful not to walk into Ganon with his blue mail.
He does have Butter Sword, so it's just 6 hits per phase in these first couple phases.
Yeah, very nice dodging. And gets that nice hit in there, so no fire bats on this next phase, at least for the first one. Second hit off. He needs 4 hits here. Ganon trolling a tiny bit. Third hit. And yes, he did find them in the light world. Thank you, Ganon, for letting us know. Unfortunately, it doesn't get Torch Glitch, but I think he might be able to set up for a triple here. Oh, just so misses it.
But there it is.
Here we go. Amazing job from Tojso, finishing officially first place with an SRL time of 1 hour, 52 minutes, and 15 seconds. GG's to Tojso. Congratulations to him.
GG, Tojso. Well done. And you saw SuperNinTaylor pause there. That was him calling GG to his opponent.
The Zora sprite picking up the Triforce is just great. Yeah, that was very nicely done. So we've asked for him to come in for an interview, and looks like he is ready, so I'm going to invite him in. Congratulations, Tojso, on your victory! How are you feeling?
I am a whole bundle of nerves.
We noticed that you were skipping some things in Ganon's Tower, making some gambles. Was that because you felt like you might have been a little bit far behind?
Yeah, I kind of went with what is known as the Hiei strats, which is if you get a key on the right-hand side, you just go all the way to the right, and if you don't find anything, then just go left. And yes, I was feeling very behind after I was messing up that water walk to get past the Aghanim skip there.
Yeah, that's what we had assumed, but no, very, very nicely done. That hammer location, though.
It was 50-50 between that and Swamp, but considering Swamp was only one chest, I thought I might as well go for the crystal.
Yeah, absolutely. It was the right play, and Pod having the ice rod was helpful as well.
Yeah. And as soon as I had the ice rod there and just nothing else was in Pod, I knew that hammer was either Swamp or ice. There was nothing left.
Yeah, and that's the good thing about the hammer being the troll item is, as Alucard was mentioning earlier, the fact that it locks out a lot of the item or a lot of the locations. SuperNinTaylor found the hammer a little bit before you did, unfortunately. For him, though, he was missing one particular item still, besides the ice rod. So,
which one was that?
It was the Quake medallion.
Oh,
Surprisingly.
No. Oh no.
Yeah, that was pretty devastating for him. He had just killed Argus. And then he realized, after fighting the ice rod and everything, and then he realized, I mean, should I go back in for this big chest? Or maybe I should revisit that library and grab the Quake medallion. And that really did him in this run. But you guys were like trading off the lead left and right and stuff. You guys had different advantages over each other kind of in the mid game. You guys were following each other very well early on. Seemed kind of linear early on. But I'm sure you had to be thinking about Aghanim at some point, right?
Oh yeah, I was thinking about it at a lot of the time. I was thinking, okay, what next if I can't do Aga? But then when I found the boots in High Cave, I thought, wait, I could skip it. And then after failing a couple of times, I realized, wait, what if the hammer is in the Fat Fairy Fountain? Because if that happened, then there's really no way for me to get across with the Super Bomb in tow. So that's one thing I was really worried about was hammer and Fat Fairy, which is why I checked that first thing after killing Aghanim.
And that's exactly what we saw from SuperNinTaylor. So you guys were neck and neck for quite some time. It was really fascinating to see.
If only I'd gotten the full Aga skip, though, that would have been pretty hype.
You would have found the
amazing.
Yeah, you would have found the ice rod in Pod, but there was still the flippers at Catfish.
Well, flippers I didn't need because I could get to Ice Palace without them. And since if I had done the Aga skip properly, gone into Pod, gotten the ice rod, I would have gone down into Ice Palace and then just checked for the hammer there.
That is true.
But jumping into Pod really paid off when you found that ice rod. I'm sure that felt good.
Indeed it did.
We did see SuperNinTaylor delving into T-Rock somewhat early. Once he found that hammer, that was open to him. So he went in there looking for ice rod and, of course, Quake.
Yeah.
And that did not work out for him very well.
Yeah, hammer being my last item meant that I could not double dip T-Rock, although there was a forced Skullwoods double dip.
Right, to get that hook shot.
Hook shot and then Fire Rod and Hookshot Cave.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless you got your hovering strats down.
I do not.
Yeah, that's about all you can do.
Also, a reminder to chat, now is your time to get those bonk guesses in before they start scrolling on the screen.
Probably could have added a few from the frustration I was feeling.
But overall, I mean, other than some trouble with that minor glitch, I thought your execution and everything was on point. You were doing a great job with all your fights. Like, Ganon's Tower was particularly clean, I thought.
Except for that one Samaria block missing the second Wizard room.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, otherwise I was pretty happy with my GT.
Yeah, it was definitely very well done. I think that the seed was pretty trolly with the hammer being in its location, but at least, like I said, it was the hammer and not ice rod being the worst. At least for you.
Yeah.
So it looks like I know we have another match after this one that will be in this channel, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, I believe it is this channel.
Yep, we're going to have Ninjembro versus Korek. And you're going to have Adirondack, Rick, and Vitorp as your commentators. So that should be a very exciting race to watch. Some awesome guys on commentary. I'm looking forward to it.
So So looks like our bond count is 13. That's actually really good with when you got the boots.
Yeah, I had them pretty early. I've gotten pretty good about my bonk control, especially skipping the one for the Cape Grave.
Yeah. Yeah, and SuperNinTaylor trying to get some silver arrow strats going on here in the gauntlet. All the enemies just seem to be dodging them.
Oh man, that's the worst.
That's the worst. These horsehead guys, like, they always just move in the opposite direction of where you want them to go.
Yeah, for the first full Stalfos room and the first horsehead room, it's probably better to just not rely on arrows at all anymore. There's a couple of strats out there you can use, like the one I did with the pot and the dash. That one I actually picked up from X-Released when he was doing all dungeons testing. It's pretty sweet.
That was really amazing to see. That was the
Yeah.
fastest I've seen somebody do that.
So, and very nice Landmolis single cycle, and SuperNinTaylor also getting the single cycle for Landmolis as well.
Nice.
So, just a reminder to chat, make sure that you guys give these runners a follow. They definitely deserve it. Did a very good job today. So make sure to show them some love.
Give it up for our commentators too. Trackers and all the people involved with this thing. It's amazing.
Exactly.
Yeah, don't forget Tear. Tear's been rocking the tracker this whole time.
It's his
Ooh.
baby.
We're seeing some soccer here.
There we go. We got it now.
So are you looking forward to the next round? You got any interesting strategies that you want to share with us that you might be employing, or anything you're practicing that you may use in the future?
Well, one thing I definitely need to practice is getting that water walk down, because apparently that mushroom bomber just wanted to say no all day.
That was so troll. That guy just kept hugging you.
Oh, unfortunately doesn't have enough magic for the last one. Needed a little bit more.
You'll have that blue potion.
He actually didn't pick up the full magic refill, so headed back down and grabbed it, and now is perfectly fine through the room.
Alrighty.
Yeah, I think he used that blue potion in one of the gauntlet rooms. He was getting a little low.
Picking up those extra arrows, gonna switch to hook shot, and we're gonna see his Trolldorm 2 fight. He does not have Butter Sword, so he's gonna have to do a little bit more. Hopefully he gets the swing off. There we go. 2 hits.
Also, I gotta say, we may have to have some words about this validation chest. That's something sacred to me, Tojso.
Nah, I'd never respect this validation chest, but I don't disrespect it either. Just leave it alone.
That's good enough for me.
The validation Alucard chest now.
And we got a riot shield in there. I love it.
Patterns on this first one wasn't so good, but SuperNinTaylor got 2 hits off there. That's amazing. 2 hits off there as well. Ooh, almost would have gotten the remaining hit. 1 more. Very well done. SuperNinTaylor now off to the Ganon fight.
Oh, I like that frog pose there. It's pretty swag.
If you were a burrito, what kind of burrito would you be? Actually, that's a really good question.
My mistake.
I've only ever had one burrito.
I'd be a burrito in the validation chest.
Burrito in Eastern Palace. Alright, so we get the phase change here. SuperNinTaylor, little low on hearts now. Seems like everyone's doing the low heart Ganon strats today.
He's looking fine. A lot of warps from Ganon here.
But he's getting good position. Oh!
Ooh.
That bat, though. And
He got that dodge quick. Oh, he's got
he's got potions. Never mind. Must have let those bees off somewhere.
Yeah, I remember he did that.
I kept them the whole way. They're my
Woo!
friends.
Oh, another bat. Oh, and he got hit there, too. So
Best thing you can do when you get hit by fire bats is to just not move at all. And then you won't move either.
one hit. 2 hits. And we might get a double here. Nope. Because he disappeared. There we go. We'll need to activate the light one more time. And he's just disappearing right before he can get the hit off on him.
And there it is. Taking Ganon down.
Congrats.
And SuperNinTaylor is going to finish with an official time of 2:06:55. Congratulations, yeah. GG.
GG to SuperNinTaylor.
Indeed.
All right, so we're going to be switching off to our next commentators here. So thank you, everyone, for watching this race. And I hope that you guys stick around for the remainder. You're going to have a lot of fun with these next racers, these next commentators. Thank you again to Tojso and SuperNinTaylor for the amazing race. Thanks for commentating with me today, Alucard, and tracking Tear.
My pleasure.
Thanks again to Speed Gaming and Feasel and all the amazing people there who are helping run the tournament as well. So we're going to hand this off. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next race.
Take it away, Rick. Take it away, Vitor. We got plenty more Link to the Past randomizer action coming at you right now.
Thank you very much for the welcome. And here we go. Race number 2 of the 2017 Link to the Past Randomizer Open Tournament. Vitor, are you excited?
I am super excited, and we are not wasting any time getting into this match.
Yeah, we are a little bit late getting this one, and we got a full schedule of races tonight, so we got to get this one underway. Both runners are set. We are underway in just a moment. Where are these guys going to go first?
Well, I'm guessing, I think the play I would do is Link's House and then Sanctuary, and it looks like both of them are starting there.
And we get 20 rupees inside Link's house.